Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Cloverdale Arena for Game 2 of the West Coast Dust-Up. This is Mac the Mouth. I'm here with Bulldog. Who we got on the track today about to get started?
Now we've got the Anarchy Angels as the home team for Surrey, British Columbia against the T.O.A.S.T. That is the Thompson Okanagan All-Star team, but they prefer to be called T.O.A.S.T.
T.O.A.S.T, yeah. So the many of these skaters I'm familiar with actually on both teams, and Thompson Okanagan has many leagues, Penticton, Kelowna, OSRDA. What they've done is they've gathered skaters and Kamloops from without the Okanagan and created a bit of an all-star team to bring down to this tournament. I think it's great. It's a really good showing for the Okanagan.
Okay. Is it safe to say that they like jam on their toast?
Well done. Well done.
I apologize.
Yeah, I
apologize to people who haven't even been born yet for that one.
Well, we'll start working on things about crust and things about jam and burnt toast. I'm sure toast is a tricky name to come to a derby event with without probably hearing some good friendly abuse on the line. Also in red there, we're looking at toast right now on the screen. Just to run down the lineup, we've got A Kill of the Honey, Blair Block, Bothalicious, Born to Hula, Dixie Drift, Firecracker, Foxy McMuff, General Discomfort, Hurricane Hannah, Killer Bikini, Lady Fondle, Mortusha, Anya Knees, Purple Kush, Rambumptious, Smash Gordon, and Snarly Charlie. And who do we have in red on the track? Bulldog.
Now we have number 27, Bare Bones, number 00F, Blue Skittles, number 7, Bonnie Knoxville, number 32, Dainty But Deadly, number 6, Dangerous Goods, number 4, Drop Dead Red, number 1940, Green Lantern, number 00, Hurt She Kiss, number 322, Maladjusted, number 7, Moxie Merlot, number 77, Missy Decker, number AK-47, Roll Assassin, number 306, Scary Antoinette, number 0, SS Shocker, and number 23, Yo Mama.
Speaking of Yo Mama, she's on the line for the Angels up against...
That is A Kill of the Honey, number 660 for T.O.A.S.T. The T.O.A.S.T. Jammer. That sounds like a completely different sport.
As opposed to the Jam Toaster.
Little jammer jockeying for position. Yo Mama diving right in, though, into a four-wall of T.O.A.S.T. And there's the T.O.A.S.T. jammer, Kill of the Honey, fighting a four-wall of her own against the Anarchy Angels, driven out of bounds by Scary Antoinette, number 306. Maladjusted thought she did. No, she did. She gets the cutting the track. A Kill of the Honey doesn't even know it yet. Now sees the jammer, and there goes Yo Mama in the red for the Anarchy Angels. She is lead jammer, and we start right off with a power jam.
Yeah, it's getting the nerves out early. A lot of jammers tend to jump around a bit too much first couple jams, so let's hope T.O.A.S.T. just keeps them on the track after this one.
Yo Mama, the red jammer, fighting against Gnarly Charlie, knocks her out of bounds. She has to recycle all the way to the back of the pack in turn 2. Forced out again, this time by Purple Kush, number 11 for T.O.A.S.T. Comes back in, though, doesn't have to recycle all the way back, but that gives time for a 3-wall to form around her. Firecracker, Purple Kush, and Gnarly Charlie knocking her out of bounds. Now keep in mind, she is on a scoring pass, so this is scoring pass number 1 for the Anarchy Angels. Looks for the outside lane, but Purple Kush cuts her off, but now they are getting stretched out. The referee's arm goes up. That means out of play, and a free pass for the Anarchy Angels jammer. 4 points. 4 out of 5 did not get the 5th jammer point, did not get one of those blocker points, and out of no pass, no penalty, but now on a second scoring pass, still on a power jam. That means the other team's jammer is in the penalty box, and now Purple Kush and Firecracker dropping, and that opens up the door. Second scoring pass, this time gets all 5 points. Yo Mama. That's Yo Mama, number 23 for the Anarchy Angels. But in comes A Kill of the Honey out of the penalty box, completing that 1-minute penalty, but right back into the fire, stuck behind all 4 of the Anarchy Angels blockers. That's SS Shocker, Scary Antoinette, and Maladjusted, and Roll Assassin, as Yo Mama in red for the Anarchy Angels completes yet another scoring pass and calls off the jam. A Kill of the Honey does not complete her initial pass, so no points for Toast.
But what a great penalty kill by T.O.A.S.T. When you get your first jam out and you have to kill a power jam, sometimes teams aren't ready to hit it. They held the Anarchy Angels to 14 points and almost an entire 2-minute skate there because their jammer never got out of their initial pass. Good work by T.O.A.S.T. See if they can keep it between the tape marks now and keep their jammers on the track.
That's right. Those boundaries marked in neon yellow tape, but also have a rope so that can feel it. But they've got to pay attention. Rambumptious, number 34, jamming for T.O.A.S.T. against Mizzy Decker, number 77 for Anarchy Angels. Mizzy Decker up front fighting a 3-wall. That's General Discomfort, Smash Gordon, and Lady Fondle for T.O.A.S.T. And she gets past Smash Gordon, and once again, Anarchy Angels twice in a row lead jammer. And now we've got Rambumptious up to the front, dodges around Maladjusted, almost gets caught by Green Lantern. Is that Green Lantern? Yes, 1940 Green Lantern of the Anarchy Angels, and that keeps her in the pack. But now fighting off Dangerous Goods. Oh, Drop Dead Red almost caught her in turn 3, but Rambumptious for T.O.A.S.T. in the gray gets out of her initial pass. But here is Mizzy Decker completing her first scoring pass, gets past General Discomfort, gets all 4 points, calls off the jam.
Noah Backtalk, the coach for the Angels, they stand aside in their white cowboy hats. Noah almost leaving his feet and standing nearly 6 feet tall as he jumps in the air, getting the jammer to call it off. There's Noah there in his splendid Kenny Rogers look he's going for this weekend. Maybe after this weekend he'll open a chain of chicken restaurants as well too. As Noah talks to his team and gets ready for the next jam here at the West Coast Dust Up.
Number 9X On Your Knees, jamming for T.O.A.S.T. in the gray. And Roll Assassin, number AK-47, gets taken down in turn 1 by Gnarly Charlie and Boffalicious, and now has to recycle back. Oh, but On Your Knees also getting knocked out, but screams up the inside track and gets lead jammer for the first time for T.O.A.S.T. Here we go, Roll Assassin stepping over a fallen Gnarly Charlie, dodges past Born to Hula and gets out of her initial pass, but here's On Your Knees on her first scoring pass for T.O.A.S.T. in the gray. Anarchy Angels in the red, but On Your Knees fighting a 4-wall, gets just screamed out of the way by Yo Mama and falls off the jam from out of bounds.
She got 2. That puts them on the board. T.O.A.S.T. score 18 for the Anarchy Angels, 2 for T.O.A.S.T. If you're watching this at home, don't forget you can take part in the event raffle. They're giving away a Salter Sport 270 inflatable watercraft valued at over $800. Go to the West Coast Dust Up Facebook page or look for links on our Canuck Derby TV page to get online tickets. You can buy online and win that boat. Look at that boat right there. Bulldog will be sleeping in it tonight. We couldn't get him a hotel room, so
right.
it will be a celebrity boat when we're done with it.
The boat has arrived. That's right. You might be able to sell it for slightly less than what you normally pay for it after I use it. Mortusha. I almost said a different. Mortusha jamming for T.O.A.S.T. against Maladjusted, number 322 for Anarchy Angels. Anarchy Angels jammers knocked out of bounds by Purple Kush. Now finds a wide open outside lane. Firecracker looks over her right shoulder just as Maladjusted screams past her but does not get lead jammer. No, the lead jammer's still up for grabs, and there it goes. There goes Mortusha calling off the jam. Actually, I think she was on a scoring pass and got 1 point.
Picked up 1. Yeah, that's back-to-back jams, back-to-back leads for T.O.A.S.T. and back-to-back points for T.O.A.S.T. And this is where you start chipping away because you take out that power jam, and it's a 5-3 game right now.
So 18 points for the Anarchy Angels so far. Yo Mama jamming against Rambumptious, number 34 for T.O.A.S.T. Both jammers stuck in the center of a scrum, but fighting her way free. Yo Mama claims lead jammer. She jammed in the very first jam, got lead jammer in that one, and now gets that was actually a power jam where Anarchy Angels scored most of their points, and now Yo Mama once again lead jammer coming around. Rambumptious still fighting her way free of the pack. Up front, Drop Dead Red has to back off, and Rambumptious gets her way free and clear on her initial pass. But Yo Mama on a scoring pass, gets caught by Lady Fondle, doesn't quite get out of the pack, but it only gets 3 out of 4 points and calls off the jam. 3-0 Anarchy Angels.
Yeah, good wall there by T.O.A.S.T. Lady Fondle up at the front. She was actually started at the back of that pack, worked her way all the way through and did not give up her point as much as they gave up 3. It was good work by Lady Fondle there blocking for T.O.A.S.T. in gray. That's T.O.A.S.T. in gray, Anarchy Angels in red. We are just, about 7 minutes in. It's 21-4 for the Anarchy Angels here at the West Coast Dust-Up.
And now in the red, number 77 for the Anarchy Angels, Mizzy Decker against number 9X Anya Knees in the gray for T.O.A.S.T. It's the Thompson Okanagan All-Star team. And up front, Mizzy Decker fights her way past Gnarly Charlie and Killer Bikini and Smash Gordon to claim lead jammer for the Anarchy Angels. Coming around the outside, Anya Knees taken down by Maladjusted with a big shoulder check in turn 4. Has to recycle all the way to the top of the turn as Mizzy Decker enters the back and is in position for that jammer lap point. Potentially 5 points as she finds the opening on the outside. And there it is, a grand slam for the Anarchy Angels in the red. Anya Knees still fighting her way on her initial pass. Maladjusted catching her at the front, slowing her down. That is a Hurt She Kiss, also contributing to the defensive effort. And Anya Knees knocked out of bounds by Green Lantern, number 1940 for the Anarchy Angels, and has to recycle on her second scoring pass. Mizzy Decker moving in, surrounded by 3 T.O.A.S.T. blockers, but there goes Born to Hula to the penalty box. That's going to drop it down to 2. That's Gnarly Charlie and Smash Gordon. Gnarly Charlie Killer Bikini was the one who got knocked down.
Anya Knees, just at the beginning of that jam, got knocked out by Maladjusted, went down, and so did Mela, but Anya immediately turned her back to the track and skated back, and it's just that track awareness piece. It's subtle. The jammers need to pay attention to the contact point and see that they're able to legally re-enter. She actually went back behind the entire 8 skaters when she could have just jumped back in, but that's a track awareness learning curve. She battled really hard through that jam, and T.O.A.S.T. is going to have to pick it up. They're down 30-4.
Well, that's true. That's a learning curve, but also sometimes you just want to play it safe, and because you do not want to get that cutting the track penalty just because you and the referee disagree about where you are on the track. And also, I have to apologize to Snarly Charlie, not Gnarly Charlie. I was reading off the back of her shirt when I was warming up, and I thought that was a G. It is an S. But now Aquila the Honey smashing her way free, gets past Bare Bones and Dainty but Deadly to claim lead jammer, I believe only the second time for the Thompson Okanagan All-Star team. Oh, third time. Thank you for that correction. But there goes Roll Assassin out of the pack, completing her initial pass about a half a lap behind Aquila the Honey. Aquila the Honey calling off the jam. But, someone got it cutting the track.
Their jammer did, it appears. Let's see who's heading to the box.
Well, I don't see Aquila the Honey moving to the box yet, but she hasn't. There she goes to the box. You're right, Mac the Mouth.
Right near the end of that jam, picking up a cut, giving what you do not want to give the Anarchy Angels a power jam. And you watch how, and I point out Stand Aside and Noah Backtop because they play for Vancouver Murder, the men's team, as T.O.A.S.T. is now called a timeout on the track. You watch at home, if you're watching this, they'll execute very well on a power jam start and how they play through their power jam, because the guys like to play with a lot of strategy, and they're teaching that to the Angels here, and the Angels have really picked up their game in the last year here in the Lower Mainland. While we got a break in the action here, let's just shout out our key sponsors, Salter Watercrafts. We talked about that beautiful boat that Bulldog will personally sleep in tonight, so you can have it pre-slept before you pick it up when you win it.
I think in Canada they pronounce that the watercraft is called a bout.
It's a boot. It's a boot. We're at a roller derby boot, and you can win a boot, and it's about $5 for 3 or 10 for 7 if you want to buy some tickets and win that $800 boat.
I thought it was about, and
it's about $8 to win a boot at the bout.
And the thing you ride on the water is a bout? Or a
yes.
boot? Or a boot or a boat?
No, it's all the same.
Okay. All right.
Boot, bout, boot. I'll spell it out for you. I'll do it phonetically.
I will stop now.
No, it's okay. I want to thank Pivot Star, too. They've got a new line of team uniforms, pivotstar.com. Also, the Henry Pub in downtown Cloverdale, our event sponsor and home of the ever fabulous and anticipated After Party.
And Maladjusted gets up to the front of the pack, but Bothalicious stumbles and slows her down. General Snumber trying to catch her, but it is Maladjusted in front for lead jammer. That is Aquila the Honey in the penalty box as jammer for Toast. So it is a power jam, the second power jam of the game. The very first jam turned into a power jam, but now we've got a number 2, and here's Maladjusted coming around on a scoring pass, leaning into all 4 of the Toast blockers. Born to Hula back on the track. She started out in the penalty box, but now they have all 4 on the track, but fighting her way clear, and there's a 5 points for Maladjusted. Now, what was interesting about that cutting the track at the end was that Akila the Honey was actually the lead jammer and called off the jam, but she also got a cutting the track. So, I mean, ordinarily, if the timing of that is crucial, because if she had gotten the cutting before she called off the jam would have continued. Yeah. But the timing of that, she must have called off the jam and then in that tiny interval before the 4th whistle, got the cutting the track. But look at that. Akila the Honey back on the track and right back into the penalty box.
Another cut is being signaled by the jam ref. Another cut. So T.O.A.S.T has really got to get it settled down here. They're already down by over 45 points as Angels take advantage of these power jams, and this is what will hurt a team and dig a hole you can't get out of. So got to get out of this power jam and settle things down.
Okay, well, Maladjusted now leaning in. I'm not sure. I actually lost track of how many scoring passes this was. It's where we've got to be getting into a 5th or 6th one at this point. Because this is 2 power jams. That's right, 2 penalties in a row for the T.O.A.S.T jammer.
$65-7 quickly. I think that was about 30. I think it was 25 to 30 points picked up by the Anarchy Angels in that last 2-minute period of time. Also, you might have noticed a few cowboy hats kicking around. We saw them on Stan and Noah. You see them on the coaches. You see them here at the announcers table, except for me. Apparently, I'm not allowed to have a hat. The cowboy hats are from the Stampede Tack in Cloverdale, another key sponsor for us.
Yo Mama, number 23, now jamming for. I think the word is she was almost doing it, but I think it's called a twerk. But
what, did she twerk her way through the pack? Nice.
Well, at the back of the pack when she was trying to get there. But now completing that initial pass, getting lead jammer. Slips past Blair Block and smash Gordon. Snarly Charlie trying to catch her at the front of the pack, but cannot do so. Yo Mama getting that grand slam. And here goes Akila the Honey back on the track. Let's see for how long. I think so far she's been jammer this is her 3rd jam as jammer, but I think she's spent more time in the penalty box as jammer than on the track.
Yeah, and talking to jammers, this is the point where they want to get back to the bench and get somebody else out, because she's been out there for 3 jams in a row, spent 2 of them in the box. It starts to get into your head. You want to get to the bench, let it go, get another fresh group out there and a new jammer, so T.O.A.S.T can get some points up on the board here. They're down 75-7 halfway through the first half here at the West Coast Dust Up. That's the Anarchy Angels in red. And in gray, that's T.O.A.S.T, which is the Thompson Okanagan All-Star team. And you're watching it here live on Canuck Derby TV.
As now Firecracker, a fresh jammer for T.O.A.S.T, number 89 in the gray, against number 77, Ms. E. Decker. We've seen her jam a couple of times, and both very productively. She's put quite a few points on the board for the Anarchy Angels, and that was natural points, not on power jams. But no, it's struggling this time, trying to get through the pack. But having just as much trouble. That is, Firecracker at the front, dainty but deadly at the front of the pack. And that is Scary Antoinette. Dainty but deadly and Scary Antoinette double teaming, and there goes. Dainty but deadly heading to the penalty box now on a high block penalty.
Yeah, caught the T.O.A.S.T jammer standing up a bit too straight. She came in a little too low and caught her in the face. I mean, I don't think it wasn't just a point of contact that created the major, not that she was intent on it.
But both teams struggling to get their jammer out of the track. But finally, Ms. E. Decker is fending off number. A little bit of confusion. Did the jam get called off, or did they run out of time? It all happened on the opposite end of the track.
Yeah, I think the time ran out on that 2 minutes because players returned from the box during that period of time as well.
Okay.
So, where are we now? We are past that halfway mark, 76-7, almost a 70-point lead reached here by the Angels on T.O.A.S.T. And it's hard for I'm not making excuses for the Thompson Okanagan team, but they are an all-star group thrown together to come to this tournament. They probably haven't regularly played together as a unit. So we'll see if they start to get their game on and settle down a little bit, because there's still a lot of time and a lot of points to be scored in this second bout of the day.
On your knees, stuck behind. Dangerous Goods stumbling, but takes On your knees out of bounds. There's Roll Assassin, though, getting ahead of the pack, claiming lead jammer. On your knees, trying to get around Yo Mama and Drop Dead Red. She does. She slips right between them, in fact, completing her initial pass. But just as Roll Assassin gets into the pack on a scoring pass, squeezing between her teammates and now squeezing between Blair Block and Boffalicious, and slides past General Discomfort to complete that pass. Calls off the jam for 4 points, Anarchy Angels.
And does a nice 360 to finish off that jam too, Roll Assassin, as she spun her way off a hit on the inside of lane 1 coming down the main straightaway. Our location for this bout, we're sitting in turn 4, looking right down the spot announcers like to look, is the back of the jam line. Even though I have my savant friend here who can memorize teams in 5 minutes, it's nice to be sitting where we're sitting. In fact, that shot on the camera is our viewpoint right now, and you're getting a great shot at home here on the Canuck Derby TV.
Maladjusted getting out of the pack quickly for the first in her initial pass. Oh, but right behind her, it is Rambunctious, number 34 for T.O.A.S.T, getting out as well. So just a few strides separating them and closing the gap quickly. Rambunctious putting on the speed. Maladjusted just looks over her shoulder in time, slips. I think she may have gotten 3 points and 1 point for Rambunctious.
2 in the box, so she got the 1 and picked up the penalty box points for a total of 3.
That's right, but there was also 1 point for T.O.A.S.T, Rambunctious for T.O.A.S.T with 3 points. That's 1 on the track, 2 in the box.
83-8 for the Anarchy Angels, the home team, the host team for this event too. And I'll talk a bit about this event when we get closer to another break.
Contact right off the line between jammers Yo Mama and Killer Bikini. Killer Bikini, number 9 of T.O.A.S.T, not to be confused with number 9X On Your Knees. Interestingly, though, on the other team, we have a 0, a 0-0, and a 0-0F. Not confusing at all. But, Roll Assassin with a big shoulder check takes down Killer Bikini. Killer Bikini very quickly recovering. But look at that. There's Yo Mama drawn all the way back, almost to turn 4 after she got knocked out of bounds by Lady Fondle. And there's Killer Bikini completing her initial pass. She is lead jammer. Yo Mama knocked out of bounds again by Lady Fondle. She was backed up by Smash Gordon, and now has to recycle all the way to the back all the way to the top of turn 3. Killer Bikini on a scoring pass, getting into the pack, calling off the jam partway through. And is going to get 3 points for T.O.A.S.T, nothing for Anarchy Angels. I think the first time they've been shut out.
Great work by Lady Fondle at the front and the back of that pack. They recycled a tough jammer that was Yo that was out there, or Assassin. I think it was Yo Mama on that jam. She got cycled back twice to the back of that pack, and that was a lot of hard work by Lady Fondle for the T.O.A.S.T Thompson Okanagan All-Stars.
That is very correct. That was 2 key blocks by Lady Fondle against Yo Mama. But now we have number 9X On Your Knees jamming for T.O.A.S.T. But it's number 77, Ms. E. Decker for the Anarchy Angels in the red, getting out first for lead jammer. On Your Knees still on her initial pass up to the front. There's Dainty But Deadly and Maladjusted. Now Dainty But Deadly one-on-one with On Your Knees, but she runs out of room, and On Your Knees gets a free pass. Out for her initial pass, but there's Miss E. Decker on her scoring pass. Boffalicious screens across with a shoulder check, forcing her out of bounds, and Miss E. Decker calls off the jam once again before On Your Knees can get into the pack. I think, how many points was that, Matt?
That picked up 3 more, it looks like. If that's an 86, which it is, 86-11 for the Anarchy Angels. That's you'll listen to the voice of Bulldog and Mac the Mouth here at the West Coast Dust Up live on Canuck Derby TV.
That's right. This is game 2 of a 6-game round-robin series for between these 4 teams. Now we've got Rambunctious, number 34, jamming for T.O.A.S.T in the gray. Roll Assassin in the red with her Anarchy Angels, knocked down by Born to Hula and Purple Kush. Now Roll Assassin stuck at the back of the pack. Finds an inside lane, but runs right into. I believe that was Killer Bikini. No, that was Born to Hula. Born to Hula holding That's not distracting at all. Now we've got Rambunctious and Roll Assassin neck and neck out of the pack, but Rambunctious just in front with lead jammer status and in control of the clock. One of the few lead jammers that T.O.A.S.T has gotten. And there goes Rambunctious calling off the jam and holding. That's going to be a scoreless jam. And how much time left in the period?
Just 9 minutes, as it says on your screen there. Just the West Coast dust-up came to life because a Western tournament passed away on us, and some of these teams that have been saving up money and time to get to this event suddenly had no event to go to. And I got to hand it to Noah Backtalk, who contacted me about 6 or 8 weeks ago and talked about putting on an event with some of the top Western teams. Red Deer and Anarchy Angels were actually probably picked to be in the Western final at the Westerns, the Canadian Westerns. So it's a really good opportunity that this was all thrown together in very short sequence of events to put on such a great event and also get these teams together. And it also allows this play. This play doesn't get to happen very often in Western Canada, so it's great to see these teams together.
Bawfalicious jamming for the first time for T.O.A.S.T. and a valiant effort. She got so far, but every single step of the way, the Anarchy Angels were battering her back into the pack, and Maladjusted was at the back of the pack for a long time, but just suddenly screamed ahead and claimed lead jammer. Now all the way around on her first scoring pass. Got past General Discomfort. Now at the front of the pack, held up briefly by Firecracker and Lady Fondle, but gets through, completes her pass. And looks like Bawfalicious going to the penalty box with a forearm, illegal use of the forearms. So that means Maladjusted on the power jam. Second scoring pass, Lady Fondle and Firecracker and Snarly Charlie unable to keep her in the pack. Second scoring pass, and I believe that was another grand slam for the Anarchy Angels. Now coming around, the pack has not moved from turn 2, and this time Maladjusted just slips right by. Just a quick counter check against Snarly Charlie and through the pack. I believe that was 3 scoring passes, 3 grand slams, and here comes number 4. And quickly around the outside, this time Snarly Charlie catches her, but goes out of bounds herself, and that allows her to come back in. And Maladjusted does manage to get all 5 points. That's because Snarly Charlie, when she went out of bounds, she went in front of Maladjusted. So when Maladjusted came back on the track, she did in fact pass her while she was on the track and Snarly Charlie was out of bounds. And here's number 5, even easier than the previous one. Maladjusted now just doing laps right now. And I got to give credit to Scary Antoinette on that one, opening up that inside line, just shuffling the T.O.A.S.T. blockers out of the way.
Some nice blocking there by the Angels, some really good discipline. People had their roles to take part in on that power jam. I see that the T.O.A.S.T. jammer is standing in the box, so there's going to just be Yo Mama, as you see in our shot right now, standing at the line as the jammer for the Anarchy Angels, and they get what a lot of us refer to as a power jam start. And likely what's going to happen here is the Angels will do nothing and let their jammer go fight the fight, which is exactly what's happening as Yo Mama wants to get out of that pack and get lead, and she does. Bulldog.
That is right. Bawfalicious, though, has returned to the track. Oh, it looks like Yo Mama actually entered the track, but was behind the jammer line, was not completely in front of the jammer line, so she actually had to backtrack in order to avoid a penalty. But here's Bawfalicious back on the track, but Yo Mama on a scoring pass and slips through. Bawfalicious on her initial pass. She just got back from the penalty box and immediately runs into a solid 4-wall of Anarchy Angels in the red. Just a wall of red in front of her. Now a quick move around the outside. Yo Mama struggling to hold on to her. Hangs on all the way through turn 3, but at the top of the turn, Bawfalicious finally breaking free. Yo Mama on another scoring pass, slips right past Mortusha on the end, who is guarding the inside lane, gets all 4 points, and this time calls off the jam.
And good track awareness by Yo Mama there. She lifted her inside left foot on that tape to keep her a 1 skate in bounds as she took that very small space. And the way the skaters and jammers play today, you can't give up the width of 2 wheels on these inside lines. Jammers will take it all the time. Got to step right over to the tape and fill in that space.
That's right. It's all about inches and seconds in this game. On your knees, number 9X, jamming for T.O.A.S.T. And I believe that's Missy Decker, number 77, jamming. She is at the front, but 3 T.O.A.S.T. blockers holding her back. That's Firecracker, Lady Fondle, and Killer Bikini. Now it's one-on-one with Firecracker. Killer Bikini was bridging, but unable to stop her, and its lead jammer goes to Anarchy Angels. Here's on your knees, slips up a tiny. There's exactly what you were saying, Mac. A tiny opening. Oh no, she got a cut in the track. She did touch the ground out of bounds and goes to the penalty box.
So and often I see jammers do this as they straddle. So they get a foot out, and the moment they lift it up, they put themselves back in play because they're 1 foot's in, 1 foot's out. It's a straddle cut, and I've seen those happening more often on these tight passes on the outside.
That's right. That all they have to do is touch out of bounds, even for the briefest of seconds, and that counts as going out of bounds. And then as soon as they lift up their outside foot, they are back inbound. So that little tap, and that counts as a cutting the track. That is a technical penalty. No one likes to see that, but it works against both teams. Either team does that, and they're both going to get sent to the penalty box. But Mizzy Decker coming through, I believe this is her third scoring pass. Sometimes when they start racking up these scoring passes on these power jams, it becomes hard to keep count, or very easy to get off by one. But coming through again, Firecracker trying to hold on. Lady Fondle able to get her out of bounds, and didn't get her out of bounds. Actually, sorry, she did get her out of bounds, but Lady Fondle got a penalty, and that allowed Mizzy Decker to come back in. Lady Fondle going to the penalty box, and Mizzy Decker calling it off. Yes, but the T.O.A.S.T jammer did get out of the penalty box, so they're able to field someone fresh.
Yeah, Lady Fondle, a strong blocker for T.O.A.S.T today. She's been a force to reckon with on the track. I'm really impressed by her lateral movement and how much space she can cover quickly. And unfortunately, in the box now is going to hurt their pack as the Angels have pack advantage. But at least T.O.A.S.T has their jammer out there. Let's see how they do in this jam.
Rambumptious, number 34, jamming. And that's a Roll Assassin, number AK-47, jamming for Anarchy Angels. She's out front. Oh, just gets past General Discomfort. General Discomfort got a glancing blow and then hurtled out of bounds. Roll Assassin is lead jammer, about a half a lap ahead of Rambumptious as Rambumptious completes her initial pass. So both jammers moving into scoring position. Now Roll Assassin into the pack. General Discomfort and Snarly Charlie in a 2-wall. Roll Assassin calling off the jam as she's knocked out of bounds by Born to Hula and gets 4 points. Nothing for T.O.A.S.T once again.
Again, that boat, it's out there somewhere. Oh, there's Stand Aside in his cowboy hat. There's an event raffle, and it's a Salter watercraft, $800, Salter Sport 270, valued at $800. I think I said that already. Go to the Facebook page, look for the links. You can buy tickets online to win this boat. You don't even have to be here, though you should be here because this is an incredible event happening here with some of the top teams in Western Canada.
Maladjusted quickly through the pack, having just breaking through clean. Aquila the Honey back on the track as jammer. Now, if you remember, the first 3 jams she wore the star, she spent almost the whole time in the penalty box. This time gets through clean, completes her initial pass, but Maladjusted completing her first scoring pass. Doesn't quite get there in time to catch Aquila the Honey, so only gets 4 points. And she's going to call off the jam. Aquila the Honey doesn't go to the penalty box, but doesn't score any points either.
As we get down under the last minute, now less than a minute in the first half here, 158-11. T.O.A.S.T has really struggled to get any more points on the board as the Angels continue to take advantage of power jams and pack advantage and just a higher skill set of jammers, and plus a team that's been playing together for almost a year and a half, 2 years at the same roster, where T.O.A.S.T is getting their game together with the first game of this 3-game weekend for them.
And less than a minute left in the game as the whistle blows, in the first half. And there's Yo Mama up front, gets past number 89 Firecracker and claims lead jammer, a familiar sight for the Anarchy Angels. But there's On Your Knees getting out of the pack as well. But it looks like Yo Mama opting to slow down. I think she's got her eye on the period clock. And I believe she called it just as the seconds tick down. So that is the end of the first half, Mac.
First half is over here at the West Coast dust-up of our second game. T.O.A.S.T, the Thompson Okanagan All-Star team, versus our local home team here, the Anarchy Angels, our host team. Score right now is 158 for the Anarchy Angels in red, 11 for T.O.A.S.T in gray. We've got a short halftime break here. This is Mac the Mouth with Bulldog. We'll be back with you live on Canuck Derby TV in just a few minutes.
Oh, hi, I'm ZZ Slop of Fog City Rollers, and you're watching Canuck Derby TV.
It's not true.
Welcome back to the West Coast Dust Up. I'm Mac the Mouth here with Bulldog. You are looking at a live shot of the Cloverdale Arena, the second half of Game 2. The Anarchy Angels, the host team for this event, up against T.O.A.S.T, the Thompson, Okanagan All-Star team. So, first half thoughts, Bulldog, before the whistle blows here shortly. What does T.O.A.S.T got to do to kind of measure up second half?
Well, they gave up several power jams in the first half. That's one thing that they have to discipline their jammers a little bit. But really, they just have to find a way. The Anarchy Angels blockers have been so strong the entire first half. They've been just shutting. Even when the jammers are on the track, they've been having so much trouble just getting through on their initial pass. And it's kind of hard to score when you can't make a scoring pass.
And we're off. The second half is underway.
More Tusha, number L7, jamming for T.O.A.S.T. And she is up against Maladjusted, number 322 for the Anarchy Angels. And once again, what we saw in the pattern we saw in the entire first half, lead jammer goes to the Anarchy Angels, and the T.O.A.S.T jammer stuck in the pack. She gets up to the front, but drop dead red, holding the line. Now there's some bridging going on. SS Shocker number 0 coming up to bridge. And now a little bit of, Maladjusted is not wearing the star.
No, it's actually Scary Antoinette started this half jamming. They had Mela in the pack. I think with the lead, they're going to mix up their jammer rotation.
Did I? Okay, sorry. That was Maladjusted going to the penalty box. 3:06. That is Scary Antoinette, who was jamming the whole time.
Actually, two blockers to the penalty box here right out of the gate for the Anarchy Angels. And Angels here look like they're going to mix up their jam rotation a bit. Mizzy Decker, number 77 on the line, up against number 64, I believe that is. Is that 94? Is that Blair Block? Thank you. Rambunctious, number 34 in gray.
That's
pack
right,
advantage for T.O.A.S.T as they got a 4-2 pack advantage. This is the opportunity they need to get lead and some points.
Right. No curly blonde-haired jammers or blockers on the track this time. We've got Mizzy Decker, though, held in, and look at that exact. They must have been listening to me. They're holding back Mizzy Decker. Now the whole first half, Mizzy Decker was racking up points after points, and now held in the pack. Bofalicious and Born to Hula finally leaving a tiny opening for Mizzy Decker to get through. But here's Rambunctious on a scoring pass up to the front. Now looks like Dangerous Goods, number -6, going to the penalty box, and that means that the Anarchy Angels having some trouble. You know what? That's something I didn't mention. Another thing they can do to get points is to have only one Anarchy Angel blocker on the track, and that's Roll Assassin right now. Rambunctious just gets through easily. Roll Assassin unable to even slow her down. I think she actually was out of bounds as Rambunctious was approaching. So that's 5 points, but Mizzy Decker, I think, was matching some of those points.
Nice pass.
Come through again. Rambunctious gets right past Maladjusted, the real Maladjusted right there.
Yeah, not the reasonable facsimile. As the Anarchy Angel Jammer's back on the track, one of the things about a pack size like this is Jammer's advantage. More room on the track, less skaters to pass. T.O.A.S.T has got lead. I think they want to run it out and get their points here. One thing I'm noticing is some pack destruction penalties that are coming fast and furious to both teams. Maladjusted going off for a failure to reform. as there's no pack definition, and the refs are expecting a very fast reformation of that pack, and it's not happening. Both teams a little sloppy on their pack formation.
That's right. When the pack gets sparse like this, with so many skaters, with so many blockers in the penalty box, it is so easy for the pack to become separated because there's just not that critical mass that can kind of maintain the pack more easily, and that's what you see, Mac. You see all those out of play failure to reform penalties,
and that's why you see a shot of skaters in the box waiting to come back onto the track. But let's give some credit to the T.O.A.S.T. They just picked up 20 points in the first 3 minutes. They've scored more points in the first 3 minutes of this period than they did the entire first half. So good for them to come out here. And now again, they got to take advantage of pack advantage. They have it once more. They've got 4 blockers, and they're using their jammer, as a 4th blocker. Really smart play. Get your jammer out, get lead, and it looks like T.O.A.S.T. is on the verge of doing it again. Nice blocking the front of the back. No, they've got lead.
On your knees, number 9X, getting out for lead. That's twice in a row. T.O.A.S.T. has gotten their jammer, but Yo Mama getting out. So we're not going to get a jammer lap point here, but on your knees, getting out of the pack. She was struggling to do that the entire first half. Now it looks like a Blair Block being sent back to the to her team bench. I'm not sure what happened there.
They had too many skaters on the bench, Bulldog. Someone was in the box, but they put a full line out. And again, fortunately, it's not a penalty. The referees will just tell you to leave and return to your bench. It's funny, like I think every other sport on the planet, you get a penalty for too many men on the spot. This sport, they tell you to go back to your bench because you don't know how to do math.
Well, you get an opportunity to go back to your bench
if you don't report.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But if you don't respond and no skater and you don't adjust it within I'm not sure I don't recall what the exact.
I think it's the ref's discretion on how many beats they figure you've been warned to get off and to leave the track, and then they'll just call it.
That's right. So eventually it will be a penalty, but if you're reasonably expeditious about getting a skater about evening up the track, then about removing a skater from the track back to the bench, then you won't get a penalty for it. But Rambumptious back on the track as jammer for T.O.A.S.T. and up against Mizzy Decker. Mizzy Decker just leaning into it. It's like that football slide. The slide track. What do you?
It's fast. The slide track.
The sled. Sled, not the slide.
A little luge action, or perhaps some sculls, or the bobsled.
That's what that always reminds me of. When the jammer is just leaning into a pack of blockers, but that's a completely different sport. Right now, here today, we have Ms. E. Decker gets knocked out briefly, but by Purple Kush.
Wow, I thought that was a cut.
Stepped out. Well, the referee signaled that it was no pass, no penalty. So
Fair
Purple
enough.
Kush, he may have seen Purple Kush step just one wheel out of bounds, just like you were saying in the first period, Mac.
Yep. From a coach's standpoint, I'm jumping up and down calling for a cut.
But no, the referee was watching, and he signaled no pass, no penalty.
Yep.
So that did not happen. Mizzy Decker now getting knocked down repeatedly, struggling to get through. Now the jammer cover off of her head, passes it to the pivot, Roll Assassin, who gets pummeled by shoulder checks from Snarly Charlie as she's struggling just to get the cap on her helmet, and now she's got it on there. Now she becomes the point scorer for the Anarchy Angels. Rambumptious coming around again. She is still lead jammer. Now leaning into Mizzy Decker, who's a blocker now. Slips past on the inside, but gets caught in the front by maladjusted number 322 for Anarchy Angels, and gets through for a grand slam. Roll Assassin still getting knocked around. That is Killer Bikini at number 9 at the front, holding her in the pack, and not going to put any more points on the board for Anarchy Angels. Big jam for T.O.A.S.T.
T.O.A.S.T. has really turned up the heat here in the second half. You can smell it, actually. As things are cooking down there on the track and get a little crispy and fried. They are. They've turned up they've gotten more physical. Their packs are staying together more. They've had lead jam, 3 jams in a row. They've got red blockers in the box. I mean, these are the things you want to have happen when you come into a second period. It's great to see a team have a goal for the second half because they've already over tripled their point total, and they're only 7 minutes in.
We've got Scary Antoinette, number 306, jamming for Anarchy Angels. And on your knees, number 9X gets knocked out of bounds, comes back in quickly, gets past Hurt She Kiss, and now slips up the inside and is lead jammer again. So T.O.A.S.T. coming in strong in the second half. And there goes Scary Antoinette. She went out of bounds, landed with her elbows out of bounds and her knees on the track, and she lifted up both of her elbows briefly, and that caused a cutting the track. Now it wasn't that was she lifted up her elbows and then she got up onto her skates. If she had stayed on her knees, she would have still been considered out of play. Or would not have gotten the cut, but she actually lifted up her elbows and stood up, and now she's paying the price. It's a power jam. I believe the first power jam. Is this the first power jam for T.O.A.S.T?
I believe it is. This is their first power jam, and look at the points they've scored without power jam, considering they only had 11 at halftime. They're already on the verge of passing the 50-point mark. That pass there should bring them to 54, and it has. 172 to 54. T.O.A.S.T taking some control in these first 10 minutes. It's great to see this.
That was on your knees. That was a booty to booty block against Yo Mama, and gets out of the pack again, and a huge jam for T.O.A.S.T. T.O.A.S.T coming back screaming. I think they've held Anarchy Angels to about 20 points while scoring. I believe that is 48 points themselves. So I think they almost doubled the score, or more than doubled the score that Anarchy Angels have scored so far in this half.
Yeah, and again, another shout out to our sponsors, Pivot Star. With their new line of team uniforms, you can actually see an entire set of that uniform on the Anarchy Angels right now. They're in their brand new Pivot Star jerseys, Pivot Star shorts. I see some of the girls wearing the 3/4 length Francie pants with the red trim at the bottom. Some fabulous sport clothing made by Pivot Star. And I can tell you, I travel a lot for this sport, and I know a few of the skaters that are over in Europe and travel over the United States, and you see Pivot Star clothing and apparel everywhere now. In fact, I believe I saw some Gotham skaters wearing some of their Pivot Star shorts and pants at ECDX a couple weeks ago in Philadelphia. So it's great to see it all over the world now, skaters wearing Pivot Star clothing, a local company here in Vancouver that's known worldwide. Pivot Star, the alternative athletic apparel, and one of our great sponsors here at the West Coast Dust Up.
All right, and that was an official timeout. You can tell by the jam timer was tapping both of her shoulders with both arms. That indicates an official timeout. That means it is not charged to either team. That is the officials straightening out. Well, often that is to straighten out the penalty situation. But we've got Firecracker number 89 breaking through. It is still a power jam to start the jam, but here comes Scary Antoinette. Oh, gets through, slipped right up the inside. Lady Fondle came across with a shoulder check, but Scary Antoinette was just able to brush it off and continue on. So she was able to just work around it. Now there's Firecracker getting through, completing her first scoring pass, gets 4 points, but calls off the jam. But Scary Antoinette just gets in and matches those 4 points. So it's a 4-4 jam.
You know what? That's a jammer watching the bench, checking in with their coach. That coach started calling off the jam when she got out of that pack. Yeah, unfortunately, Firecracker, by the time she looked, recognized and started to call it off. Scary had already grabbed those points, so we end up with a tie jam. But again, 176 to 63, they're almost pulled this game within 100 points. I think their goal now is to get under that 100 mark and keep chipping away. Well, we got an official review. The timeout or official review?
It's an official timeout. Normally, if it's an official review, usually you'll see the team coach is going to the referees. Correct. And they'll have a discussion. But no, it's an official timeout.
Well, we got an official timeout. Let's talk about that boat one more time before Bulldog sleeps in it. There's an event raffle you can get in on at home. So if you're watching this at home, don't think you can't win this cool prize that's on the table for the weekend. It's a Salter Sport 270 inflatable watercraft. There it is now. Valued at over $800. Go to the West Coast Dust Up Facebook page or look for links on our Canuck Derby TV page and get online tickets. $5 for 3, $10 for 7. The draw is on Sunday and you are going to win an $800 boat. It's affordable freedom thanks to Salter Watercraft at www.salterboat.com. Also, just so you know, Bulldog actually inflated that boat personally, so it's full of Bulldog's hot air, which is steaming into the building as we speak right now.
And it's not from the end that you're thinking. No, it was...
Well, Bulldog, how you enjoying the West Coast Dust Up? And hey, thanks for coming all the way up here with your passport and everything, Bulldog, from the United States of America.
It was touch and go there for a while. I couldn't find my passport at first, so it was looking like I wasn't going to make it, but I did find it. And so, yeah, you're paying the price.
And actually,
sit there and listen to me.
Bulldog paddled that boat across the river at night, camouflaged, to get here. So make sure you get some tickets for that boat raffle.
Hey, Customs might be watching. Here we go. Oh, we have Buffalicious jamming. No, excuse me, that is Mortusha. Mortusha, number L7, jamming for T.O.A.S.T, and she breaks with her lead jammer. So T.O.A.S.T looking so strong in the second half, where they were just getting trampled in the first half. That is maladjusted. Did you notice how I paused to verify before I said that? Maladjusted jamming for Anarchy Angels. But Mortusha getting through, calling off the jam in time, so no score for Anarchy Angels.
Yeah, T.O.A.S.T has put their foot to the floor, gathered themselves together as a team here, and are really pulling it together. And I noticed that the Angels are now adjusting back to their regular jammer rotation. I think that's Yo on the line. We just saw maladjusted Yo Mama at the start of the half. They were jamming some different jammers, I think, because the lead was there. Now they're within 100. They want to get that lead back up. So Yo Mama on the jam line.
That's right, Yo Mama against Rambumptious. Rambumptious number 34 on the outside lane, getting held off. As soon as the referee gets out of the way, there's SS Shocker. Repeated hits to the now to the outside. Rambumptious finds the open lane, but gets cut off by Scary Antoinette. There's Yo Mama still in the pack. Both jammers on their initial path, but a quick dodge to the inside, and Rambumptious, just fends off a shoulder block. She was getting screamed to the Scary Antoinette, but able to hold her off. But that bought just enough time for Yo Mama to get out of the pack as well. So she is now pacing Rambumptious, and Rambumptious has no choice but to call off the jam. No score.
Nice pass by Bumptious there, coming up that outside between turns, down the back straightaway, coming out of turn 2, forced right to the tape. But she used a lot of lower body leg strength to push back against that. It was Scary Antoinette, I think, doing the push out on her and keep her skates in bounds and get that lead jam.
And by the way, Mac, if you look at the score, we actually have a palindrome.
Ooh, it's a 67176 is 67176. Everybody, take a drink of your coffee or various cold beverages that are out there in internet land.
That's right, but it's only a palindrome because T.O.A.S.T is on the left. If they were on the right, it wouldn't be. So it's a palindrome with an asterisk. But we've got Ms. E. Decker, number 77, jamming for Anarchy Angels. She gets out, but she's not lead jammer.
Yeah,
that opened the door for Anya Knees, number 9X.
I'm surprised they haven't called it off yet. Here is, you're giving up points right now when you shouldn't be. You've got lead, which is control, and that's the time. If now they've called it off and they're giving up 3 or 4 points. Maybe the bench didn't recognize that they had lead. Plus, you give up that ghost point in the penalty box, so you give up a minimum of 2 and possibly 4, and I think they gave up 4.
That's right. Interesting, because you would normally, if the other jammer gets into the back, you'll just go ahead and go for the points to at least match, and then call it off. Only do that if the other jammer manages to potentially lap you. But they waited until she was in there.
Because the jammers came by our location here in turn 4, shoulder to shoulder. Jam ref indicated Gray had lead, and I don't think the bench picked up on it by the time she got around to the scoring pass. It was too late. Just again, those are, and again, it's a team that's thrown together. We found out at halftime they've had 3 practices, and I got to hand it to how hard they're playing and how well they're playing together for a team that's only skated together 3 times from various leagues that usually compete very hard against each other in this area, the Thompson Okanagan. I don't know if you've been up there before.
I have not made it and had the pleasure. It
is breathtakingly beautiful country up there. It's the Thompson Okanagan. There's a lot of rolling hills and very dry, arid areas, lots of trees and lakes, but there's some beautiful cities up there as well too. And then there's the Okanagan itself, Okanagan Lake, Penticton, Kelowna, Vernon, Kamloops, the whole area through there. The biggest wine country in Western Canada up there as well too. It's beautiful. This time of year it's going to be 30 plus degrees, which in America is in the 90s, by the way.
Yeah, we've got the both team coaches discussing with the referees. The score has not adjusted. Now it looked like Anarchy Angels was in the Anarchy Angels jammer. Yo Mama was in the pack, and I was expecting to see points, but as we mentioned, it's a palindrome with an asterisk, 67 to 176. So the score has not changed. So no points have been reported in. So it's possible that the Anarchy Angels jammer simply did not make any legal passes before the jam was called off. So it may be that they were salvaged by that.
And the Anarchy Angel jammer has just been moved to the penalty box. So a penalty was assessed during that jam. As I just saw the red jammer be moved over by the referee into the box. So we have a power jam situation here with Firecracker on the line. Or T.O.A.S.T.
That's right. And that's Mizzy Decker. Yes, Mizzy Decker was the jammer. It was a whole jam ago that Yo Mama was the jammer.
T.O.A.S.T quickly with lead right out of the gate, and Yo Mama just headed right to the box as well too. So a pack advantage and a power jam for T.O.A.S T. Good opportunity to draw that lead under 100 points, Bulldog.
3 blockers in the pack. Bare Bones drops back to bridge. Firecracker, the jammer for T.O.A.S T. On a scoring pass, stuck behind Drop Dead Red and Green Lantern. Number 1940 whiffs with a shoulder check, and Firecracker gets through for a grand slam. The pack at a standstill in turn 2. As the Anarchy Angels jammer looks on helplessly. She's joined by Yo Mama, and as it happens, then there goes Firecracker through the pack once again at a standstill. Gets past Drop Dead Red, who's guarding the inside lane. That's 10 points so far for T.O.A.S T on this power jam. This power jam is going to end very shortly. That's as the 1 minute ticks over. Firecracker falling off the jam just as Mizzy Decker gets released from the penalty box. So Anarchy Angels will be able to field a fresh jammer in the next one. But 15?
T.O.A.S T, 15 on that. T.O.A.S T trying to freeze the jammer in the box for the next start, but a little late on the call-off. However, 11 points in the first half and already 71 points in the second half. What a turnaround for T.O.A.S T. 176 to 82 for Anarchy Angels, but what a great second half T.O.A.S T is having here, scoring 71 points in the second half with just over 15 minutes remaining.
Scary Antoinette, number 306, jamming for Anarchy Angels, gets driven out of bounds as Anya Knees, number 9X for T.O.A.S T, gets through for lead jammer again. I think T.O.A.S T has gotten almost every single lead jammer in this entire second half, Mac. And now we've got Scary Antoinette just getting out of the pack, but she's a half a lap up behind the T.O.A.S T jammer. Anya Knees moving up the inside lane. Joe just gets clipped by SS Shocker, steps out of bounds, falls down, comes back in clean, but that gives enough time for Scary Antoinette to get into the pack, and now has passed the T.O.A.S T jammer. Now, interesting. Honestly, he just gave her 5 points, but I think that was in error. Now, honestly, I think that was only both jammers were on their first scoring lap, on their first scoring pass. So that if T.O.A.S T is paying attention, they might challenge that extra point. But if they don't, and the referee doesn't adjust it himself, and it's also possible that I lost track of something. But from what I saw, it looked like the T.O.A.S T jammer was half a lap ahead of the Anarchy Angels jammer. The Anarchy Angels jammer caught up. So we might have had one additional point added by mistake, but if it doesn't get caught, then it goes into the books.
Yeah. If you miss it, no question. It just keeps the game continues.
That's right. But we've got Maladjusted knocking out Aquila the Honey. And now interesting, if the jammer knocks out the other jammer, then that jammer is always in play with respect to the other jammer. So she can actually just drive the other jammer back as far as she wants and just keep lapping and lapping, while the other jammer is forced to stay out of bounds the entire time. But Aquila the Honey was able to get back in, but had to go through the pack again. And now we've got Maladjusted picking up 2 for Anarchy Angels.
Yeah, just going to wait till that scoreboard updates, because an interesting stat since the second half. Angels have scored 35 points in the second half. T.O.A.S T has scored 75 points. T.O.A.S T is actually leading the Angels 75 to 35 in the second half.
That's right. No, that is exactly what we've been seeing on the track. T.O.A.S T has been so strong in this first half. It's like it almost like they have a brand new team on the track now, or they're finally congealing together as a team. Now we have Yo Mama. No. Yes, Yo Mama getting through. She is lead jammer for Anarchy Angels. And there is Ram Bumptious jamming number 34 for T.O.A.S T. Both jammers out of the pack on their initial pass, and there's Yo Mama on her first scoring pass. Squeezes her way past her teammates. Killer Bikini, some vicious shoulder checks, but unable to stop Yo Mama, who gets through for 4 and calls it off. But 2 points for Ram Bumptious. She just clipped them off the back of the pack.
Nicely done. So still a 99-point game. T.O.A.S T has got it under 100 points. A really impressive second half here for T.O.A.S T as well. Angels, I'm surprised that they're not able to put more on the board like they did in the first half, but I'm also giving full credit to T.O.A.S T starting, like you said, they're starting to congeal like cold gravy or Your coffee.
That's right, my coffee. That's more like it. That's a more appropriate analogy. Thank you. Now maladjusted thought she drew the cut, but on your knees was able to get it back in. So it was not maladjusted, but that knocked her out of bounds, or that the referee saw. But nevertheless, maladjusted is lead jammer, and now in position for a jammer lap point if she can get past on your knees and the rest of the pack. But on your knees fighting, struggling to get into the pack now. Bare Bones and Green Lantern have driven her to the rear of the pack. Mizzy Decker now making the 3-wall. And maladjusted, there she goes. She gets through the pack, and that's a grand slam. 5 points so far for Anarchy Angels. On your knees, still on her initial pass.
There she goes.
Races past Green Lantern way ahead of the pack, but the referee, there it is, head ref Dev Null saw the out of play, raised the hand, and that was a free pass for On Your Knees. But now almost getting lapped again. That's 4 points. If she can get past On Your Knees, she'll get another point. But On Your Knees heading into the pack, maladjusted is going to call it off. Just settle for 9 points. Not going to get that second jammer point.
Yeah, the team's hustling back out to the line here. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Let's make sure we give a shout out. We talked about Pivot Star. We talked about Salter Watercrafts. The Henry Pub in downtown Cloverdale, an event sponsor and home of the after party on Sunday. And the cowboy hats you don't see me wearing, but you will see Bulldog wearing one, are from the Stampede Tack in Cloverdale.
A Kill of the Honey back on the track, number 660 for T.O.A.S.T. Against that is Scary Antoinette, number 306, and she is lead jammer. So a shaky start for Anarchy Angels, but it looks like they're getting back into their rhythm that we saw all of the entire first half.
Yeah.
But A Kill of the Honey did get out of the pack on her initial pass. But Scary Antoinette dodging around a fall and smash Gordon, only to get caught up front by Lady Fondle, who falls down. And it looks like a low block called on Lady Fondle. That's a
Lady
technical
Fondle
call.
staying down as well, too. I honestly thought Scary Antoinette had cut over here on this top of turn 3 as a skate came off the track and she quickly re-entered. But it might have been a skater shorty pass at the hips.
That's right, but if a referee didn't see it, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen, yeah.
But right now, Lady Fondle took a nasty fall. I believe she actually got called for a low block. This is a technical call. If a skater falls on the track and an opposing skater falls over her, and the opposing skater is not obliged to skate around, if an opposing skater runs into her and falls down, that is a technical low block, and a major penalty is called.
And that's a big blow for T.O.A.S.T. because Fondle's been a very good blocker in their pack this entire game. She's stretching her leg out. She's going to have to sit out for 3 jams because the jam was stopped.
That I'm not clear on that because Scary Antoinette it kind of happened at the same time.
Yeah.
Scary Antoinette was also signaling to call off the jam. So I mean, once again, the timing is crucial on that.
Well, Crash Test Ref, I know came over. He's our head ref. Came over to talk to the bench. Maybe they're asking someone to serve Lady Fondle's minute. But if that's the case, also, and she's unable to play. Maybe with 9.5 minutes left, they're going to wait and see how her knee is and not force the issue. They got 2 more games. They got to play again right after this game. They play Red Deer, so they go from the frying pan into the fire, from the toaster oven to the frying pan to the fire for T.O.A.S.T. as they have to get a bit of a rest and come right back out and play Red Deer, the Belladonnas, later today.
So a fresh jammer for Anarchy Angels. That is Dangerous Goods, number -6, as they hit the 200 mark on the scoreboard. T.O.A.S.T. at 88, and as you mentioned before, they were at 11 at the end of the first half. Now at 88 points, so 77 scored so far. Rambumptious, a lot of those points from Rambumptious right there. Now both jammers just leaning in, moving together in tandem, moving as one.
I like it.
It is the union of. It's such a beautiful sight. The union of 2 sides.
Jammer union.
Now neck and neck, but Dangerous Goods slips past Killer Bikini and becomes lead jammer. Rambumptious right behind her, just a few strides, just about 4 or 5 strides behind, and closing the gap. The Dangerous Goods calling off the jam.
Call off. Just checking Lady Fondle still at the bench, stretching out her leg. As we see a shot of Noah Backtalk, the coach for the Anarchy Angels. As you see the skaters take the line there, the jammer from the last jam, Killer Bikini heading to the bench. She's had a great day today. We get down to less than 9 minutes.
Strong blocker. I've seen her. She played with the with the bank track team SS Rodeo. That's where I've seen actually quite a few of these T.O.A.S.T skaters.
Right.
Several of them, anyway. But now we've got Anya Knees jamming for T.O.A.S.T once again. But there is Yo
That's
Mama with a quick dodge and a duck dodge. What are the others? There's 7 Ds, aren't there?
Duck, dodge, dive, and dodge.
And dodge again, yes. But she did all of them and got through. She is lead jammer now, approaching the pack for her first scoring pass. But Anya Knees also just right behind her. Nice work by Firecracker, holding back Yo Mama and calling it off. I don't think she's only going to get 1 or 2 points, I think. But she got 3.
And what I'm seeing is T.O.A.S.T is getting their jammer out. T.O.A.S.T picked up 3 points as well. So
no, excuse me. Yeah, sorry, I mixed up the jammer ups. That was 3 points for T.O.A.S.T, only 1 for the Anarchy Angels.
Right, because we picked up the box points. There's two red skaters in the penalty box, so the T.O.A.S.T jammer picked up the 1 live skater on the track and immediately gets the 2 bonus points in the box for 3. So even though they didn't get lead, they got the jammer out and outscored the Angels on that last jam.
That's it. Well, the jam refs switched sides at the half, so each team gets each jam ref for 1 half. You can tell by what's on their wrist guard. There's a colored tape or a wristband on their wrist guard, but that's going to be a quick no-score jam. Ms. E. Decker calling off the jam because Rambunctious got out right behind her.
That's about 5 jams in a row where T.O.A.S.T has either gotten lead or they've immediately gotten their jammer out behind the Angel jammers. So the adjustments they've made, whatever they've been working on is clearly showing now in the back half. Their game's improving as this game goes along. The Angels need to put a little more of their own pressure on themselves to get their game back where it was in the first half and not let this be any closer than it is. I'm sure that's their goal.
That's right. They're making gravy and letting it get cold, right?
Coagulating.
Okay, now that's a completely different imagery. But Anya Knees knocked down. She's the jammer for T.O.A.S.T. And there's Scary Antoinette knocked, just caught by Purple Kush, number 11, forced out of bounds, and that opens it up. But she did get lead jammer.
Yeah,
she got her hips.
Telling her to call it off.
She got her hips ahead of the foremost T.O.A.S.T blocker before she went out of bounds. And therefore she was lead jammer, even though she got sucked back into the pack and was able to call it off, no score.
Another 0-0 jam. That's a 3rd in a row, and that's really got to speak to how T.O.A.S.T is keeping their packs together and blocking much better than they did in the first half. Angels, I'm not surprised, maladjusted on the jam line. I believe their top jammer, her and Yo Mama, do yeoman's work when they get in the back half of the game. Fabulous skater, maladjusted, and they've got pack advantage going right now for T.O.A.S.T.
That's right, and I think T.O.A.S.T just now at this point I'll be happy, or I think they'll be happy if they just break 100 points, get into triple digits. Mortusha jamming, number L7 for T.O.A.S.T. And number 322, maladjusted, has claimed lead jammer as she's done so many times today. There's Mortusha one-on-one against Mizzy Decker. Mizzy Decker stumbles and goes out of bounds, but that's enough to force Mortusha to the back of the pack now as maladjusted gets to the back on a scoring pass, slips past Firecracker, dodges past Snarly Charlie, Born to Hula trying to catch her and reel her back in, but she gets through all 5 points. Grand slam for Anarchy Angels. Mortusha still in the pack, still struggling to get out. She was so close to seeing daylight, but got pulled back in. Drop dead red, stumbles, and Mortusha stumbles over, and now I think she actually got kneed in the back. Another skater came up behind her. I didn't catch who. I just saw the leg. Actually, as she was starting to get up, she got slammed in the back of the knee, but she got back up very quickly, so it doesn't look like she's hurt. Well, but everyone's still on their knees, so. But I don't see anyone on the ground. I think
someone went to the bench a little angry.
I think she got up so quickly that she caught everyone by surprise. Everyone thought she was still on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get maybe it's a hit you don't like, but it's incidental just because of falling and crashing that occurred from a different hit. Skater's down for a second, it gets her breath or recognize what's happened and then hustle back to the bench because they're not injured to the point of having required EMT, but enough to knock your breath out or just give you a stinger, and that may be the case. I noticed one of the T.O.A.S.T jammers is actually sitting there with an ice pack on her left shoulder. I don't know which skater that is. I can't make out her numbers. Looks like a lot of zeros. Oh, is it Akilla the Honey? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's had a strong game for the team today as well, too. It's good to see Lady Fondle back on her skates. So whatever was up with her knee and what she was feeling, she's better. Yeah, 660, Akilla the Honey. sitting on the bench there with an ice pack. You can see her now in her shot. Hopefully her shoulder's good. I saw the EMTs right there standing, checking with both skaters to make sure everybody's all right. As we've got a great physiotherapy team here, as well as some first aid folks keep an eye on everybody. And there'll be a lot of ice packs before this weekend is over. I can tell by the first game with Terminal City and Red Deer, there was a lot of heavy hits in that game. There's going to be a lot of heavy hits in the next game, T.O.A.S.T and Red Deer. I'm really looking forward, actually, to the Anarchy Angels and Red Deer tomorrow morning at 9, followed by, I believe, Terminal City and the T.O.A.S.T team at 11, and I think the last game of the day tomorrow at 1. These are all Pacific time, by the way. Is the Terminal City Roller Girls versus the host Anarchy Angels. And don't forget about the boat. You can win a boat. That's right, a boat. How many times have you gone to roller derby and won a boat? Well, there it is. That's how Bulldog got here, and he personally inflated it with his own air. So you can win a Salter Sport 270 inflatable watercraft valued at over $800. You just got to go to the West Coast Dust Up Facebook page or look for links on our Canuck Derby TV page to get online tickets. They're $5 for 3, $10 for 7, and the draw is on Sunday. Someone either in this building or watching anywhere on the interweb world is going to win a boat. Affordable freedom thanks to Salter Watercraft, www.salterboat.com.
And I know some of you might have been getting excited about that. You saw that little tiny baby boat off to the side. That's not an actual boat. That's a cardboard cutout of the actual boat. That's a scale-size cardboard cutout. So don't get too excited.
There's the boat.
You just get the big boat.
And there's the little boat.
That's a cardboard cutout. It's two-dimensional. It's a flat surface, even though it looks...
Actually, the boat is having babies, so the more tickets we sell, the boat may have a litter, but that's the boat you want. It's actually a pretty fabulous, cool prize for a derby event. I love it.
Now this is interesting. Both jammers are in the penalty box, and they must have both got assessed penalties. Now that may be what that delay was. Unfortunately, we didn't get a report of exactly what happened, but both jammers were sent to the box. They were both sent there at the same time. Therefore, that they both get a 10-second delay, and that's why that jam started and nothing seemed to happen. But Rambumptious, number 34, gets lead jammer just ahead of Maladjusted, number 323. But Maladjusted gets out. She's about a quarter lap behind. And here comes Rambumptious into the pack on her first scoring pass, followed closely by Maladjusted. Maladjusted did get up to Purple Kush, who knocked her out of bounds immediately. Did not get any points, and neither jammer gets any points on that one.
0-0 jam. It's 211 for the Angels in red, 91 for T.O.A.S.T in gray. This second half, T.O.A.S.T scoring 80 points to the Anarchy Angels, let's call it 53. So T.O.A.S.T has actually outscored them 80-53 in the second half.
Now on your knees, jamming number 9X against Yo Mama, number 23, one of the strong jammers we've been seeing, one of the workhorse jammers for the Anarchy Angels. Anarchy Angels in the red, T.O.A.S.T in the gray, just in case you lost track of that, or if you're just joining us. On your knees, up front, but facing all four of the Anarchy Angels blockers. And now that is Blue Skittles, number 00F, and 0, the SS Shocker, getting through. They're slowing down on your knees for about a half a lap, but then On Your Knees got out for lead jammer. But there's Yo Mama about a half a lap behind her as On Your Knees hits the pack on a scoring pass, gets past Moxie Merlot, number 07, but gets held up by Blue Skittles up front, calls off the jam. 2 points, but 1 point picked up by Anarchy Angels, just flipped off the back of the pack.
Just some sheer hustle by Yo Mama. I mean, the game's not in jeopardy. There's 2.5 minutes left, and that first jammer whistle blows, and she finds another gear to steal a point. And that's what you want to have in a jammer out there, regardless of the time or score in the game, that you get that extra hustle when the opportunity presents itself.
All right, but look at that, man. The T.O.A.S.T has been working so hard, but they have another game coming up right after this. So after this, they've been taking a big beating from the Anarchy Angels, but they're going to be playing against the Red Deer Belladonnas right after this. Just a little over 2 minutes left in this game, and there goes Killer Bikini jamming for T.O.A.S.T up to the front. Now stuck behind Green Lantern. Drop Dead Red drops down, and Killer Bikini slips to the inside of Green Lantern to get out of the pack, but followed right behind by Scary Antoinette. So another familiar pattern. Whenever T.O.A.S.T has been getting their jammer out recently, they've been followed closely by the Anarchy Angels jammer, and there they go both into the pack. immediately picked up, Scary Antoinette immediately picked up by the Toast blockers.
2-1.
But she does get 2 points and only 1 point for Killer Bikini. So Anarchy Angels winning that jam.
As time winds down on this game, we're going to have a short break, and we're back at 1 p.m. Pacific time for T.O.A.S.T versus the Red Deer Belladonnas. Let's hope T.O.A.S.T doesn't stay out and get stale and crispy. They get some chance.
But it's plenty warm in here, so I have a feeling they're going to stay nice and toasty. Rambumptious jamming for T.O.A.S.T, leaning into Dainty but Deadly. And Dainty but Deadly fighting back, almost bringing her to a standstill, but Rambumptious now pours on the speed, gets past Yo Mama, the pivot, and Dainty but Deadly. And
that's the fourth lead jam in a row for T.O.A.S.T, by the way, in the back end of this game.
Ms. E. Decker was stuck at the back of the pack, but suddenly an opening on the inside came up, and she just zipped right through. But here comes Rambumptious leaping through the pack, gets a hit from Yo Mama, but it was very close to the whistle, but I think she just got it in time. The Rambumptious getting a 4-0 decision on that jam.
And I notice over at the T.O.A.S.T bench, Killer Bikini standing up. Looks like she's in a lot of discomfort. Can't tell if it's a shoulder or an arm. She's down to the far end of the bench. Now she's laying down on her back there. The EMT is going to come and check her out. I noticed she was grabbing it. I couldn't tell if she's grabbing her arm or chest. Oh, she's getting an ice pack and putting on her hand. So, as can happen in this game, you get your finger run over. It hurts like hell, and all you can do is kind of wait it out. And hopefully that's just the case, and should be good to go as this game winds down. T.O.A.S.T needs their entire bench for the next game.
But back on the track, maladjusted number 322 gets lead jammer Firecracker number 89 for T.O.A.S.T. Gets knocked out by Scary Antoinette, comes back in. Now finds an open outside lane, but just cut off by Moxie Merlot. And there goes maladjusted, zips through the pack, gets past Purple Kush number 11, and claims a grand slam against T.O.A.S.T. Now the T.O.A.S.T jammer all the way at the back of the pack. Firecracker number 89 wearing the star for T.O.A.S.T. Now gets up and comes even with Scary Antoinette. Scary Antoinette trying to get in front of her, but Firecracker able to fend her off. But almost 2 laps now as behind the Anarchy Angels jammer as maladjusted completes her second scoring pass.
Blue Skittles for the Anarchy Angels. As much as the game's over and the time's run down, I see Blue Skittles was really struggling with some sort of injury or something that was hurting. She left the track over in turn 3 and is just basically reported to the EMTs there. You can see her in the top left corner of the screen being checked out by the EMTs right now. A lot of bumps and bruises in this game, more than the first game, but the game is over. There she is. There's a shot of Skittles there. I'm not sure what it is. She's favoring her right shoulder, and she really dropped that right shoulder and let it hang. I hope it's something that is just a stinger or something that's a bruise later, so she can return to play. Because there's also Killer Bikini still icing that finger or hand, causing her a lot of pain and discomfort at that bench. These are tough athletes playing a tough, competitive, physical contact sport. Don't think for a second they're not putting it all out there. As the Anarchy Angels take a 223 over T.O.A.S.T 98. Bulldog, any final thoughts on this game as they're shaking hands out there?
Well, this was all gloves off battle, just a brute battle fest. Or is that a word? But
sure, I'll go with that one.
It was we saw quite a few injuries. I mean, we never like to see those, and this one was just brutal. I think that's the word. It was we saw Lady Fondle and Aquila the Honey. Yep. Both with injuries during the game, and then towards the end we saw Killer Bikini, and now on the Anarchy Angels, Blue Skittles over there, still being attended to by the medics. But now we have the teams shaking hands at the end of the game. And now look at that, they're shaking hands with the refs too.
You bet. And just for you fans out there of the Thompson Okanagan team, you got to give them full credit because they were down 158-11 in the first half. The score differential in the second half was 87 for T.O.A.S.T, 75 for the Angels. They outscored the Angels 87-75 after being down 147 points at halftime. That's gutting it out and coming back out and facing whatever they had to do to come out in that second half. They came out and brought it, and good on them. Now they got to rest and get ready for something big. So we're going to wrap it here and take a short break, and we'll be back at 1 o'clock Pacific time. This is Mac the Mouth here beside the very handsome and shorter than me Bulldog. Here at the West Coast Dust Up at Cloverdale. Be back shortly here to watch the T.O.A.S.T All-Star Team versus the Red Deer Belladonnas at 1 o'clock Pacific time here on Canuck Derby TV.